Hi everyone, Great Power 60 here. So I had blue nails for such a long time and my nails are starting to split and I've had to cut them down. But I thought for a different video for my channel, which I've done once in a while, like my hair and stuff, like right now I did not curl my hair. I was in a hurry. I had to wash it and I just let it go and I used a little gel to make it crunchy. But now it's, the next day, which means it's kind of a mess. But what I wanted to show you, and hopefully I'll be able to do this properly, is I have and I like the strawberry flavor. So this is my nail polish remover. I also have a container here. Let me see if I can lift you up just a little bit here. Hopefully. I'm using a different tripod here. I have a container. I think it was Mum's, but I use it for my cotton balls. So I have cotton balls in there, and I have Q-tips in here. In case I need to, let me see here, get into spots. And that comes in really handy. Of course, I've got my box of tissue. I have a little dish. I also have my nail file to get under the nail so that they'll be white underneath. Now, I've already done a lot of stuff, but I wanted to show you what I have. For me, because my nails are natural and they grow quite quickly, there's a couple of things that I do after. Now, right now I've got the top coat on, or base coat, but what I do is I fill a little bit of, because it was dark blue and I might have had a couple of layers on my nails, I put some nail polish remover in here, and I sit my fingers in, kind of like this. I sit them in here with the nail polish remover for a few seconds, just a little while. I don't leave them in for very long, maybe a minute. Then I take my cotton ball and use some of the stuff that's in there, and I'll go over all my nails. And if there's some that's still on there, I'll put it back in to the dish for a bit and then continue. And if I find that there's little, get that out again. Sometimes in the cracks, I will dip this in the nail polish remover. But I find by dipping it and holding it in the dish for a little while, it doesn't have to be very long. And you can continually dip, So what I do then is, if there is any residue near my skin in the corners, I will, use a Q-tip to, rub that part out. So my nails become nail polish free, right? So that's the basic of getting rid of my nail polish. Now, my nails grow quite quickly, and I'm fortunate for that, and they're quite hard. They're quite solid. When I was younger, they were quite soft, but I used to bite my nails when I was a little girl, and it wasn't until I got engaged that I stopped biting my nails because I wanted to show off the beautiful ring. Anyway, my first engagement. So once that is done, all the nail polish is off, and then I'll go to my sink and I'll take some soft soap and I'll wash my fingers really, really good, wash all my hands really, really good, get all of the residue out of there, and then dry them, and then leave it for a little bit so that my nails are not still wet or soft from working on them. So that's the next thing that I do, and then I'll wait a bit while I tidy up, because I'll tidy up this. Now, if there's any left over in here, I'll put it back into my container. I like this one because it's strawberry. It's not a horrible scent. So if you can find a scented one that you like, it's really more pleasant. So I've got that tool done, and I have got, so my Q-tip and my cotton balls can now be put away. And now my nail polish can be put away. And I'm doing all of this while my nails are drying, while my hand is drying and the nails are no longer wet and they're no longer soft. So I will wait a bit. I may even go and make myself a cup of tea or do whatever. And then my next step, and of course I wash out my dish because I'll keep that for the next time. I'll put that aside. While my nails are still wet, and I will then go in with the point of my, I'm sure many of you know this, but I'm just doing this for fun. I will go in and absolutely clean underneath my nails as much as possible and try and get them, like, they're really short right now. I like them a little longer than this. I don't use fake nails because in the past when I've had acrylic nails put on, it takes about 8 months. After I've removed them all, it takes 8 months for my nail to become hard again so that all of the softness that was underneath the fake nails grows out. And it takes me about 8 months to get good, solid nails. So that's why I don't use acrylic nails. And I let my nails grow. And they're all different sizes right now because I have trimmed them down and I leave them. I don't bother matching them up or anything. I let them go. The other thing that I am adamant about is that I will gently go around, and if there's any dead skins, I may have to wash my hands again after I do this, but I will go in and I will push back my cuticles. They also have products that are cuticle removers. I guess if you have a lot of growth where you don't push your cuticles back, and I can even use my other thumb to do it, it's just a gentle push back so that you get a really nice moon showing, I guess I could say. Mine need to be done again, so I'm going to do that. And I use my other nails to do that, but you could use, you know, a file. And sometimes when I do this, even after I've put on my base coat, and here is my base coat. And the reason I use a base coat is so that any nail polish that I put on will not discolor my nail. And it will also keep my nail firm. So that is the other thing. And I mean, many of you girls may already know this, so I'm just going to go through this just for info, for your information only. But it is very imperative that you keep your cuticles back and down so that you have a nice, let me see if I can show you, so that you have a nice rounding near the moon of your fingers. And they say that the larger the moon, the healthier your nails are. Now my moons are hiding quite a bit. Now I don't know if that means I'm getting older. I'm just gonna push these back a little bit. Sometimes it's just to get under it. Sometimes the top base coat that I'm using may go under there, and I just need to push my cuticles back. It is, you don't do it hard, gently, gently, gently. All right, now the next thing, once I've pushed my cuticles back, and like I say, sometimes I'll do this even when I have nail polish on. It helps the growth of your nails. That is one of the things that I have learned over the years, is that it does help the growth and the health of your nails to keep your cuticles nicely rounded and tucked in, and any excess skin removed, and that's where a cuticle remover would come in. I personally don't use cuticle remover very often, maybe if I've neglected my nails for a year or so. But anyway, that is what I do. Then I'll take once it's all dry, once everything's all cleaned off, once I've done under my nails, sometimes I'll get discoloration under my nails from crafting, or I'll get discoloration from the nail polish, or, just working, if you're working in dirt, if you're, planting and so on, sometimes it will be a little dirty, and it's hard to get with just the nail file. And what I do, I have these little brushes that unfortunately is full of hair. These little brushes that I got, I like the way you handle it. I use it with soap. I use a lot of soap on there, and I will go under my nails to try and get them nice and clean. I know this is a lot of work, but once you've done it all, your nails stay beautiful for a really long time. And even me, with doing dishes and doing, craft work and all that thing, they stay longer. Now, the other thing is, now that I've got my nails done and I have my base coat on, I don't have any top coat. Now, the top coat will keep your nail polish stronger longer, so that you'll notice, if you sometimes, even if you don't use the base coat, if you nail polish your nails and you go to do dishes, laundry, your hands are in water, showers, wash your hair, etc., then the nail polish starts to, kind of become ugly because of the pieces that come off. So top coat is really good to keep it longer, even when you're working in, when you're doing dishes and doing other things in water. It'll keep them a little bit longer. Now, I don't have any more. I had some, but it's now been depleted. So let's turn you down here so I can see. Okay, here's my hand, here's my file. I have done my nails. I have the top coat on. Now, the next thing is to choose which colors I want. Now, lately, what I've been doing is I've been putting one color on, and then on my ring fingers, I've added a different color just to sparkle it up. I mean, you can use nail art pieces that you can put on there, but I'm not doing that today. So I haven't used this one in a while, and I always shake them up. I shake them up because I have so many, and I have so many colors for different seasons. I've got green and red and blue and pinks. I've got white and silver and gold and purple. Purple is one of my grandson's favorite colors. So today I thought I would try this pink. Now, I don't know if I've tried it in a while. So all I'm doing is going gently down to the cuticle. And it's very light. This is a very light one, so I may do 2 coats, I may do 3 coats. So let's just get the first coat on over top of my base coat. The funny thing is when I was young, I could do, because I'm right-handed, I could do my left hand with no problems, as you see I'm doing here. I really cut my nails down quite a bit. And then I had trouble with using my left hand to do, I know it looks like I'm shaky here. It's probably because I can't see what I'm doing. But if I hold my finger, sometimes I'll put it on the edge of the counter and gently brush. It's just a matter of just gently brushing. Just gently brushing. And I just go down to the cuticle, enough to color the nail without destroying my cuticle. And I'll show you what I do after I'm finished completely finished painting my nails. Sometimes I don't have enough enough nail polish on here, and I will go over it again. You can see I'm a little shaky because it's not my natural finger, it's not my natural hand to do, but it's just over the years you get to get better at it. And sometimes you go over your nail and you just have to, you know, wipe it. Like here, I will take my nail. I got a little bit on my finger, but now that is my first coat, and I'm gonna let that dry. And it's just a light pink, but look, I've already made a mistake here. So what do? I take my nail polish remover. It's always good to see the mistakes. I'll take my nail polish remover and I'll take a Q-tip. There we go. And I've done it twice on that hand now. But as you can see, I've made a bit of a mess here. So I'm going to take that off. I don't want to do the base coat again because it's just a minor error here that I did. And I'll go over it again. You know, sometimes your fingers hit each other when you're doing this if you're not careful. And because I'm showing this on video, of course I'm going to make mistakes, as usual. And we'll just go over that again. And if worse comes to worse, take off the whole thing and start all over. It takes practice. It takes a lot of practice. So now I'm going to stop for a minute. I'm going to let this dry. If you have one of those LED lights, or not LED lights, but those little lights you can put your hands underneath where it helps dry it faster, that's great. I don't have one anymore. I got rid of it because I just didn't find it was useful for me. But my daughter likes hers. So, all right, I'll be right back. So while I'm waiting for things to dry, I've made myself a cup of tea. A big mistake that people make is not to wait until it's dry. And because I had to do this a second time and it's still a little off, I'll fix that up in a minute. It's not the end of the world, although we do want our nails to look nice. And you know, a lot of young girls, they know how to do this beautifully, or they go and get their nails done. But for a woman over 60, and in my case over 70, I think it's, you know, important. Our hands are getting old. The skin is starting to wrinkle more. You're getting more age spots all over. But our hands are still beautiful. They're still, you know, adding the nail polish adds a little class to your outfit, to your whole overall look, right? So I always thought it was important to have beautiful nails. So I'm now going to put on a second coat, and then again I am going to wait until it's completely dry. Again, I'm going to start with my right hand doing my left so that it'll have time to dry as I do my other hand. And as I said, you can put it on something to steady it if you find you're a little shaky. But just take your time. And you know, I think as we get older, yes, we look after our hair and we look after our clothing, so that we're not, you know, in the old days, in the 50s and 40s, 50s and 60s, grandmas really looked old, and they were only in their 50s, and they looked like they were in their 80s or 90s. But I think that times have changed. I think that a lot of us older women find small ways of enhancing are beauty. Even if you're as ugly as me, you can still add a little class to your look without having to go to a nail salon and have your fake nails put on, or even just have a manicure. You can do them at home, as long as you're steady, as long as you're as steady as you can be, and you do the best you can, just to make that one thing a little more glamorous, presentable, chic, elegant. Beautiful nails make a big difference. Now, I have got some down here. I'm going to wait until it dries. I don't know if you could see that. There's a little bit on my cuticle here. There's a little bit, but I'm going to leave that and let that dry before I start taking things off. So again, this is my second coat. I'm going to let it dry. I'm going to have my tea and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back and they're fairly dry, which is great. Now, if you have a top coat, I would suggest that you put it on. It's very liquidy, and all it does is seal it so that when you do dishes and so on, it lasts a little longer. But today I don't have any. I do have this pretty one. I thought maybe I would put on my ring finger just to make things different. I mean, I could use some artificial nail art that they have. And I don't really know how this is going to turn out. I just wanted it to look kind of glazy. I hope you can see what I'm doing. So it's just a little bit different. Or you could go crazy and do something totally different. It's entirely up to you what you want to do. Or you could cover all your nails with that. But I just like to have that odd, I don't know why. I don't know why. Now, I know a lot of you already know how to do your nails, but I just thought I would give you a little bit of my techniques of what I do. Now, as I said, I go around and make sure that my cuticles are back. And the reason I do that is because the nail polish is there, and if it's right up against your cuticles, it doesn't allow your nails to grow quite as quickly because you've kind of covered it. But by just gently, and I'm using my nail, and I suppose I shouldn't because I've just had them done. And again, I keep touching fingers that I shouldn't. But anyway, and that is the result of how I do my nails for a lady over 70 who, whose hands are getting old looking or have been old looking for a while. But the nails always add a little bit of class or a little bit of something to look at when you're working with your crafts and you have pretty nails. And like I say, sometimes I go blue, sometimes pink. I rarely use red. Even at Christmas, I find red on me is just not my thing. But I could add little gemmies on there with the nail art gemmies that you can get. And if you do put one on, then you really need to have a top coat. And there's some special coating that you can put on to keep them on, but top coats usually work quite well. And that is it for me for today. We'll put you up here. I'll come down with my messy hair that I have not curled. And it was beautiful yesterday because I used my crunching and added I just wanted something a little different. And for some reason, my hair wants to go this way. Even when I wasn't washing it and I was sleeping, it always went this way, even though I had been combing it this way. So you'll see in some of my videos where my hair's the other way. I play around. I could, after these nails are all nice and dry and really hard before I do anything, I may come along and wet them a little bit and add a little gel to it, just to, make it look different, have a little bit of a different hairdo. That's it for me. It's just a quick little video showing you little tricks for caring for your nails as well. And you probably already know these things, but I think if you're doing videos, it's always nice to have pretty nails. And like I say, mine were getting really, really long, and I had to really cut them down quite a bit. And I cut them down and I file them. And some people like them pointy, some people like them flat. I've tried all different ways, and I've ended up just allowing my nails to grow and be the way they're naturally meant to be. And then maybe I'll do a little trimming and so on. Anyway, guys, that's it for me for today. Just a little sharing of how I care for my nails and how I like to have them nice when I'm doing videos. So that's it for me for today. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this little one-off, away from crafting, but things that make me feel good so that when I am creating, I have some pretty nails. Sometimes I'll wear rings. Sometimes I'll wear a bracelet. Not very often. I don't wear rings a lot anymore, although I have tons. And now, of course, I've got a lot of my mom's that she has left behind. And I wear those once in a while too. So maybe you'll see them in an upcoming video. So that's it for me for today. Take care of your nails and make them pretty when you're doing crafts. And we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.